All right. Thanks everyone for joining us this morning. We're here with head coach Jeff Traylor. Just please use the raise hand function to ask questions and wait for me to call on you. JJ, you can get us started.
Jeff, what were some of your biggest takeaways after watching the film last week?
Our defense, creating 4 turnovers, helping us play on a short field, offensive execution, and our special teams they were solid, and so really, really impressive victory for us.
Jeff, you mentioned the defense. In the history since you've been here, they've been pretty opportune with those turnovers, and for whatever reason, we hadn't seen that much this season. What do you think led to all that this past game?
I thought the recovery, the one, Ty Milton had caused a fumble even before that play, and they just happened to fall back on it, which has kind of been a lot of our bad luck this year. But this time, unlike Temple, if you remember, we had 2 guys on the ball and we didn't get it back. That was a huge play in the game. This one, Jimmy made a really athletic play to keep his feet in bounds and to have the possession of the ball before he went out of bounds. And then our secondary did a really good job of making the picks. I think we had 2 picks overturned for DPIs. I'm not for sure of that, but it seemed like I remember that live. So yeah, it's weird how that stuff happens. I'd like to tell you I had some kind of secret to it. If I did, we'd do it every week. Obviously, we don't, so I don't have the secret to it. We do the same drills that all great defensive coaches do about. And I think this team does a better job of punching and ripping, and you see us being very intentional trying to get the ball out. It just happened in this game for whatever reason. I think it was the perfect storm, kind of, JJ. They couldn't lose a game, and we just come off a very frustrating loss. So it's just kind of a perfect storm.
If this was the first game where we got to saw Chapman play, it seemed like he made an immediate impact. What were your takeaways after watching him?
We've been intentional with that. We didn't want to burn his red shirt, so we've tried to save 4 games for him. His brother's coming to us as well. They're twins, and they're really good players. So really excited. Our scout team, he's been doing that to us all year. When the ball's near him, he goes and gets it, and really big fan of his.
Greg.
Jeff, since JJ asked about Chapman, I'll just pick up there. What was the learning curve like with him essentially kind of being the last player added to the roster while camp had already started and getting him up to speed to be ready to play like this?
Yeah, it did take some time. It did. I mean, obviously he got here so late. And, when we lost RJ to that heart issue, RJ was going to be a day 1 starter for us. So we were really scrambling because at that time, all the rest of the corners were injured. So we were just trying to find anything at the moment, and we really liked him. We really did. I know it looked like a desperate move that late in the year, but we felt like with his length and his how bright he is, he would really have some upside, and he's just continued to work hard. And but he's there now, obviously, you can tell. Obviously, he hasn't played very much, so there's a lot of that still to go. But as far as the installs and the playbooks, and he's ready to roll.
And we saw Zach Morris come back and get some snaps in this game at corner as well. How do you feel about sort of the state of the cornerback room now as you go forward through the rest of the year?
Yeah, much better. Same with Zach. Zach's coming back from a foot surgery, and we were trying to be very intentional with his red shirt. So we were saving those games as well. But, yeah, we're a lot deeper there right now. And as good as KK's playing out there as well, really excited about what that room is with the depth. Davin got injured in the game. We'll see what that looks like. But, yeah, we've got some depth out there. Dangerfield has been hurt. We think he'll be getting back up to speed here pretty quickly. Alpha got hurt in the game. So as soon as you get a couple back, it's like the rest of them go down. So it's just football. It's a violent sport, and injury's just a part of the game.
If you're able to get that group to a place where it's pretty healthy overall, does that allow you to do some different things with coverages, maybe play like more man-to-man or anything differently?
Yeah, totally. Our corners have held up this year, though. We've been more exposed at safety than normal. Our corners have been really solid. We've given up a couple, don't get me wrong, but most of our downfield stuff has been due to, our safety play. And then you turn right around, and we had 3 safeties that were players of the game this week. Jimmy played as good as he has, except for one play. Tyan had a great game. Jamarius had a great game. So, yeah, it's been interesting. But, yes, to your point, Greg, it does allow us to do a lot more the more we can play man-to-man on the corner position.
JJ.
Jeff, I wanted to transition to talking about your quarterback. Have you ever seen a quarterback that much in the zone in a game like that?
Well, that's a great question there, brother. That was pretty special. I'll have to admit. That's really unique. And some of those windows he was throwing it in, there wasn't much space there. And he was, the 11 days off really helped him. I think if you're, he would not ever admit he is injured at all. He just is not cut that way. And he would not allow me to tell y'all if he was injured at all. He's John Wayne tough. I mean, he just is. And he doesn't want to speak on it. He doesn't want to talk on it. But I know anybody that has a real eye for the sport can tell that he has been playing in a way this year to make sure he does what's best for the team and not get us in a bad spot by limiting some of the movements he's making. But the 11 days off really helped him. He did not practice very much. A lot of mental work, a lot of throwing, but not a lot of teamwork. So that really helped him.
Greg.
So, Jeff, where is he now in terms of physically, health-wise? Is he getting close to 100%, or how much farther does he have to go?
Yeah, I think he's pretty close right now. But again, if he wasn't, he wouldn't allow me to tell you. And we wouldn't want, anybody to think that we're trying to not be honest here. But at the same point, it's just, it doesn't matter. Like, what does it matter? I mean, kid's going to go out there and play his tail off whether he's injured or not. But he's a lot better and closer than he has been throughout the season. But I don't know if anybody's healthy and not beat up this time of year. I'm sure Alex's kid is probably dealing with stuff too. His kid is just Jalen Hurts large, so he could probably take it a little bit better.
On the broadcast with ESPN, they mentioned with Owen, they said a leg, they said a groin, and they even mentioned a shoulder as well. Did he come into the year with some of this stuff, or has he just been getting it as we go game to game? Like, what's it been like?
Was ESPN paying off my training staff? What's going on here? I mean, we have a little investigation going on here. It's just part of the game. It's just part of it. And I guess left-handed quarterbacks that follow Frank Harris feel like they got to be like Frank and be nicked up all the dang time. I guess he wants to be like Frank.
JJ.
If you look at the production of the offense as a whole, obviously it's driven by the quarterback play, but what did you see out of the rest of the offense this last week?
Anytime you can run the ball in 4-minute offense, and, obviously it was a heck of a play by Owen on the 4th down call. He went through literally all 4 progressions. I mean, you could literally see him go back in the flat, corner, drag, bump late, flat release. Praise the Lord, it's open, throw back across his body. A great run by Patrick. But when you can hand the ball off, and close the game out, pretty much the ball in our hands, that says a lot about our O-line, our tight ends, our running backs. That was what I was most proud of, is to not let them to take their life away with our offense.
What does a healthy David Amador bring to the offense? It seemed like, we saw this past week what kind of dangerous weapon he could be.
I teased him. He's been at North Shore so long. Those guys don't have any meaningful games in August and September and October. Their games don't start getting serious in November. I'm like, well, David, nice you to show up. But truthfully, it's his toe, and that thing's been injured for about 6 weeks, and it's about all the way back. In the Texas State game, he had turf toe. And the kid he's been out there at practice. He just can't really roll through practice. He's just trying to get through it, kind of like Owen's been doing, and for that matter, Hardy and McEwen. And we've been relatively healthy everywhere else, but that our quarterback and receiver rooms have just been, nicked up all year long, and it's just so hard if you can't go 100% to get really great at that part of the game because it's so much timing and precision. And I know y'all are frustrated by it. We have been, but I can speak more on it now because they're all trending up in the right direction. If I would tell y'all how beat up they were the whole time, it'd just sound like a bunch of excuses. But I think we all could kind of tell what was going on. And Hardy's still not all the way back yet from that injury, before A&M game. I would hope he gets going. DJ got injured, he's starting to trend back up correctly. Mackay got injured. He's starting to trend back up correctly. AJ's been the one. He stayed pretty healthy. I know the ball didn't come to him much Thursday night, but he had another great game. The ball just didn't come to him very much.
Greg.
You mentioned Devin in that mix. Is Devin McEwen back to 100%, or is that sort of still a process that's unfolding too?
He's getting closer. I don't think he's at 100, but he's getting closer.
In general, with your offense, you guys have scored an opening drive touchdown in 4 straight games. Why have you guys been so effective in those scripted parts of the game? Is there something you can pinpoint?
Well, this last one, obviously the big play to Patrick, the pass protection, the block Dan Dishman made on the edge out there when they brought field pressure was pretty remarkable. And a great move by Patrick. We've been kind of setting that up. We haven't run that play since Memphis 2024. And the double move was really nice, and Owen dropped a great ball in there. And then I thought it was a really well-executed play, when he read it out to Amador for the touchdown. So just execution by some really good players.
More broadly, is this group just sort of good at, getting a grasp on what you guys want to run in those opening sequences and translating that to the field come the game time?
Well, it just helps because you know what the plays are going to be all week, so you practice them all week, and then you get in the game. Unfortunately, you can't script 8-play drives on all 12-year drives you're going to have. It just doesn't work that way. So, but yeah, it does help. We've been really good at the opening drive of the first quarter or the opening drive of the third quarter for that matter.
JJ.
Jeff, you look around the American Conference. Is this the G5 SEC?
It's tough, brother. It's tough. We're all beating each other up, eating each other up, and I tried to warn y'all about this. I mean, it's North Texas is really good, and they've got 1 loss on the year. And then we had Tulane, had 1 loss on the year, and now we got South Florida. I think they're the best team in our league on the hoof. I think this is the worst matchup for us the entire year. I mean, they had a bye week before us. They blew a big lead to Memphis. They're national TV Thursday night in Florida. We're coming off an unbelievably physical game against North Texas, even though you might not think so because of the score. It was still a violent game. Then we had another violent game against Tulane, and now we got another one, and they have a bye. It couldn't be a worse matchup for us. And we just got to go in there somehow to see if we can keep that thing close and hope they mess up some.
From an on-the-field standpoint, what are some of the things that South Florida does really well?
It starts with their quarterback. I mean, I think he is elite. The tempo they play at, I think they're the 7th highest rated scoring offense in the country, maybe 8th in the country in total offense. It's not just everybody talks about the money they spend on their roster. It's not just that. It's the total commitment they've made. You can tell they're trying to get to the ACC. They're trying to get to the Big 12. The money they spent, which credit to Alex for getting that done. The indoor they built, man, is unbelievable. The on-campus stadium, which is almost, they're moving that direction. They just went all the way in. They've made an unbelievable investment in football, and I'm thrilled for Alex. He's come in there and done a super job. He's got a very good roster. Todd Orlando's a great defensive coordinator. 21 years that man's done this job. Did a great job for Tom at Texas and at the University of Houston. They have a ton of different looks. They invested in their D-line. I mean, we got them all marked as really good. We got both their linebackers marked as very, very good. They're something special, man. This is as good a team as I have played since I've been here as a head coach. They are really special, and the quarterback is just so unique. I love 16 and 2 at wide receiver. I love 4 at tailback. Their O-line is all veterans. They played together forever. It's a great football team. The quarterback, the kicker's really good. They're just a great football team. They really are.
Greg.
Jeff, a little bit along those lines, when JJ after the game asked you about your 50th win, you took the opportunity to talk about some of the things you still need to build a sustainable program. How far away is UTSA from the level you want to reach in terms of that financial commitment?
I gotta get ready for South Florida right now, brother. I mean, it's just, I said my piece after the game Thursday night, and I think everybody knows the truth to that question, Greg. We gotta get ready to try to beat a South Florida team that's got a roster that I've already said I'm not putting the number out there. It's already out there. An unbelievable indoor facility that's been completed. On-campus stadium. They've maxed out their roster as far as scholarships. They went as high as they could possibly go. Alex has got it going right now. They've doubled down. They want to go be great, and it's the thing I challenged y'all when we got in this league. Do we want to win this league, or do we just want to be in this league? And that's a question we're going to have to answer.
Can you give us a sense of where UTSA stands right now in terms of like the revenue sharing and things like that relative to the rest of the league?
I just don't see how it would benefit me to be specific in that number. I just know we're not close to being where we want to be if we want to be successful in this league.
JJ.
Jeff, kind of along those lines is like, what was the response to that? Have you seen any? I mean, it seems like you were trying to rally the troops a little. Have you seen any positive movement towards that?
I don't know what's going on over there in fundraising. I don't know if there's any large checks been written. I have a feeling if there had been, I would have been included in that memo. I really don't know. I was very intentional about it. I haven't really spoken that way since we were winning championships and winning 11 and 12 and 9, because I knew this was not sustainable with what we were investing. And I'm grateful for what we have invested. I don't want to sound like we're not. As I explained that night, the bar has moved tremendously. We worked our tails off to get this building built, but we never got a great example, last night we had to practice. We've got one field with lights on it. Well, she can't put lights where the overhead's going to go one day because the overhead's going to go there. So we don't have lights on that field. I don't know if y'all noticed, but it's daylight savings. So we've got class all day. It's dark early, so we got to practice, man. So there's things that people just don't really understand, and nobody cares. I get it, but I care, and it's my job to care, and it's my job to speak on it. And I understand when I do that, there's going to be tremendous criticism. I'm going to catch a lot of flack for doing it, but my players deserve that. And if we're going to be in this league, we deserve to go try to win this league, not just be in this league.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank y'all. God bless. Birds up.